Hey y'all, this is Taj,
And this is Jessica.
and we're the Glamots, and this is our episode for the Open Book Podcast on operating in success. I know you guys seen the short that I posted, but this is the continuing, and this is our video on and our conversation between me and Mrs. Glamot right here. So we're gonna operate in success today and give you new strategies on how to truly operate in success. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I can't wait to get started. Let's go. All right. So success, Ms. Glamel, what do you think about success? How do you think us as kingdom believers should operate in success?
So when I when I hear the word success biblically, the first the first scripture that comes to my mind is Joshua 1:8, where it says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night. Then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and thou shalt have good success." Because that word success only appears, the English word, excuse me, success only appears one time in the Bible. Now, the transliteration of the word success, it appears in different ways throughout the Bible. And I wrote down the meaning. So I want to make sure I give y'all what the Bible's definition of it is. And success translates to the Hebrew word sakal or sakal, and it means to be prudent, circumspect, wisely understand, prosper, to have insight, have comprehension. So, in a cardinal sense, when I hear the word success, I don't really associate it to things like wisdom. It's more so, and I think most of us will probably agree that when we hear the word success from a cardinal level, we think of just like monetary. But as you can see biblically, the word success, it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with money or wealth per se, but when you apply like these principles, obviously it will help you obtain like wealth and success and things of that nature.
Okay. So also, I just want to highlight because I did come up with um something that the Lord really gave me was faith plus works plus sacrifice equals success. So this is what the Lord gave me. I know some of you guys um heard about this in our short video that I released it about faith plus works plus sacrifice equals success. Um Faith in God and faith in yourself for gifting and God has blessed you with. What do you think about faith, Jess? Like what do we really believe faith is when it comes to dealing with operating success? Like I know a lot of people um talk about having faith for God to do stuff, but do we just solely depend on faith alone?
Well, that's a good question because I believe that faith and works go hand in hand.
Mhm.
So it's not enough just to say, well, faith is like the basically like the strong belief in something, and I think Hebrews 11:1 is the perfect explanation of what faith is. But I believe that faith and works, they kind of go hand in hand because um faith made complete is like works. So when you have a strong belief in something, you operate like you know that thing is real. And I think um a lot of times when we usually pull a scripture from the book of Hebrews, it's usually well, Hebrews 11 is usually 11 verse 1 or 11 verse 6, but if you like go on to read the entire book of Hebrews, it basically gives you like a recollection of like the elders and how their faith prompted them to do something. Like Rahab, which was the harlot in the land of Jericho, she just heard about this God of Israel that wasn't the God that she served, but what she heard about this God, Yahweh, it caused her to have like a reverence and a fear for him. So she ended up hiding the spies when they came into the land of Jericho, or like the instance where Abraham had to, based off of his faith, he had to sacrifice well, he was going to sacrifice his son Isaac. He didn't sacrifice him. And so most people, like, if you had to sacrifice your child, you heard a voice telling you to sacrifice your child, you probably gonna think you hallucinating or something. You're not gonna do it. But basically, Hebrews 11 is just like a perfect example of like your faith being in faith and works like coinciding. Even when we hear James 2:17, faith without works is dead, being alone, and James 2:26, whereas the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. And so I just think that, the faith and the works, they go hand in hand, because can we truly say that we have faith and really believe in something if our actions bear no fruit of that belief?
Yeah, but a lot of us claim to have a lot of faith. But like you said, faith and works go hand in hand. So when they have like a saying, because I kind of work for Universal sometimes, when they say wake up to where the action is. But what I've really been challenging people is what the Lord gave me. He says, wake up with action. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? How much work are you going to put in to get what you want? And when I say work, I mean working towards your goals, or what you want, working towards the things that you have faith for. So this is where we're talking about faith, and how faith and works intertwine with each other. We really want you to understand that you can't have one without the other. So you really can't. You can have faith, but if you don't put no work in, you leave no room for God to operate in your life. That's just you're just having faith in vain at that point, because even God talks about how so shall a man work, so shall he reap. So you have to put the work in order to see some type of success. All right, so now we're gonna go into sacrifices, things that you have to sacrifice that to get to get to where you want to be at. What are some things that you think that people should sacrifice when it should become a success?
Well, first, let me give a definition of what sacrifice is. I wrote down a few, but I think these two basically sum up the gist of what sacrificing is, especially when we're relating it in terms of operating as success. And the definition reads, the surrender or destruction of something prized or desirable for the sake of something considered as having a higher or more pressing claim. And the second definition is to give up something that you want to keep, especially in order to get or do something else. And so biblically, sacrificing was like the killing of an animal made as like an offering. So in order for us to actually make sacrifices in life, we have to first kill something. Not kill in a literal sense like take a life, but one of the definitions of kill that I found was to put an end to or cause the failure or defeat of. And so I believe that sacrificing is important in terms of being able to operate in successes, because for one, it builds discipline. Um, when we do things out of a feeling or an emotion, oftentimes it's fleeting. So if you set a goal, or say you have an accomplishment, like perfect example, you want to lose weight, but the only time you want to exercise is when you feel like it. You're never going to build that discipline, because that feeling of wanting to, it's fleeting, it's temporary. You could wake up today, have all the energy in the world to want to exercise, but then tomorrow, for the next 2, 3 days, you're sore. So you say, well, I don't want to exercise today. And then all it takes is that 2, 3, 4 days of not exercising to fall um, right back. But I'll push it back over to Mr. Glamide, because
All
I
right, so sacrifice, so it's what I had. I said, denying yourself of things that you want to accomplish your the goals that you're working towards in faith. So that's how everything ties back in together. These words that the Lord gave me. So everything ties back into success. When it comes to sacrifice, you deny yourself of these things to accomplish what you truly want. Now, like she said, it could be weight loss, food habits, spending mindsets, and desires and wants. So all of this equals to success. Success, you never forget when you make it through that threshold of success. Never forget um what it took to be successful and who truly blessed you in your works. Okay, anything else you have to say?
Yeah, so I just want to give a few more reasons as to why sacrificing is so important. Um Another reason is because it allows you to focus on what matters the most. When you go without certain things or like temporary pleasures, you'll begin to realize that you never really needed it in the first place and it really was just a distraction. Another one that I have is that it allows you to truly, um, actually, I'm sorry, I just gave that one. It keeps you focused on the bigger picture, and you basically begin to choose like purpose over comfort. And so, what I wanted to ask Mr. Lamont Taj is this is a two-part question.
Okay.
What are some things right now that you are sacrificing for a greater goal? So, what's the goal that you have right now, and some things that you are sacrificing to achieve that goal?
All right, some goals to do right now that we're trying to save money. We're trying to save up to get a house. Just a piggyback off our pastor that we had in service today. So one of our biggest things that we had to sacrifice is eating out and door dashing food and stuff like that. We have a bad habit of doing that, and sometimes we can get in our own way when it comes to success and what we're trying to accomplish. Like we have the faith. I have faith that God will truly bless us with the things that we want, but we are in our own way. Sometimes we have to get out our own way and look back and finally admit to ourselves that we have a problem or we have an issue. And with only without when you truly admit to yourself that you have a problem, then you can then come up with a new strategy of how to take care of that problem, how to move forward and act truly operate in success.
Okay. Um, so kind of just to piggyback off what he said about saving money, um, that is a goal of ours. Um, and some things that I am sacrificing in order to save money is um shopping. I love to shop. It doesn't matter what it's for, clothes, cleaning products, candles, air fresheners. If it's shopping, I like doing it. So I don't even get on Amazon. I don't even look on Amazon anymore because it feels like torture to me to add all that stuff to the cart and not be able to make any purchases. Um, and that's pretty much it. And doing more cooking, like he said, because eating out is just so convenient, but you really do save a whole lot more money. That money that's used to eat out, you paying $50 to eat out one time. You could take that same $50 and maybe buy two meals that will last you like 2 or 3 days. So it's logical, it's more frugal, and on top of that, it tastes better. The only thing you don't have is the convenience of getting the food right away, and you don't have to put in the work to prepare it. And so before we close out, one more question, two-part question for you. Um, what are some things you need to sacrifice right now that you are currently not sacrificing?
I,
I can answer this
I would
question.
say I would need to sacrifice some of my time because I spend a lot of time like I spend a lot of time either playing the game or watching TV, or just spending too much time relaxing when I should be out, like, getting up with action, actually going and doing stuff to actually help us to grow and to benefit. So yeah, so I would say time. I need to spend time more wisely. Time management. That's what I would say. Well, what about you?
Mm, what is something I need to sacrifice that I'm not? Honestly, for me, I would say time too, because I can't I can't say something like TV because I don't really watch TV. So if I give up TV, it's not gonna create more time for me to do something else. Um, just prioritizing my time, spending more time doing things that like move the needle forward in the direction that we want our lives to head into. And I would probably also say for me, um, I need to sacrifice phone time. So I am
Oh yes,
someone
me
who
too.
I scroll a lot on YouTube. I'm a heavy consumer, but fortunately it's good things, but still at the same time it can be distracting because you're consuming so much. I'm consuming so much, but then I'm producing less. And so it's like, what good does it do to consume so much and then you're not doing anything with it? And so that's, I guess for me, that is something that I need to sacrifice that I'm not doing now. And um I would say a good way for me to make that happen. So I don't know if this all smartphones have this feature, but my particular phone, it has this little app. I forget what it's called, but um you basically can set timers on certain apps where you can only use the app for like an hour a day. And so once it gets down to like 10 minutes before the hour, it'll notify you saying, hey, this app is going to shut off. And then so once it reaches that hour, the app shuts off and you can't use it anymore until the next day. And so that is something I have implemented on one of my phones because I got two phones. So when it shuts off on the one, I get on the other. But I'm gonna get better at that. This is on video, it's on recording, so this is my reminder to myself, holding myself accountable that I said that. So whenever I forget what I said, I can go back and watch the end of this video and remember that's what I said.
As you can see, y'all, we are trying to be vulnerable with you guys to let you guys know that we too are trying to operate in success. And I know life be lifing, and we all go through our daily lives, and we be forgetting stuff. We be forgetting stuff that we hold ourselves accountable to. But your goals that you set for this new year, I want you to stay firm on it. Write it down. Make a board. Do something with it, and truly. I try to accomplish these goals and really truly operate in success this year. So this is just a start. This is just a beginning. And we thank you guys for watching. This is Taj Glamad and Jessica
Jessica.
Glamad, Mrs. Glamad. So we thank you guys for watching and see you again. Oh, one more thing, y'all. And don't forget to tune in next week to our next week episode. It is Hidden and Protected. So we want you guys to stay tuned for that. I know a lot of people have some questions about that, but we'll be able to answer it to you. And look out for that short because I'm going to drop it this week.